I figured I would just show you all how I set them up. First thing I do when I get them out the box, I pull the chain out. There's 9 links of factory chain that come with it. I cut the middle link out, and then I add a pause shock spring in the middle with the MB crunch proof swivels. They hook right on to your pause shock spring. These shock springs, a lot of people say they're unnecessary, in which you don't have to have them, but if you want to be a humane trapper and cause as less damage to the animal and less suffering as possible, you will put these shock springs in there. It stops them from pulling their legs out of socket, or it's just easier on the animal, less stress on them. But all these, that's all I use is the MB crunch proof swivels. I don't do nothing else to the trap. They just come straight out the box. I mean, these are an awesome trap. They're great for the money. The only thing I do is I add my trap tag right here on the bottom center swivel. I use hog nose. I don't like the trap connectors they sell, so I buy these Decker's Bump Hill hog nose rings. They're copper, just like your copper name tags that have to go onto every trap you have. And you buy the hog ring pliers here, and you set them to the depth you want. They're real easy to put on. You just take and put them right on here, and you put the tag in there and you squeeze it on. That's pretty much all you do. But another thing, some of you new trappers out there, that's why I make these videos. I like to help and inspire new trappers, because there's so many people that are getting out of trapping, and I know fur's down, but fur trapping, that's what brought us here to America, and we need to keep the practice going. We need to move to the more humane methods, which that's why I love these traps. They have thick cast iron jaws. They're smooth jaw. They don't close all the way. They're offset, so it doesn't break the leg of the animal. So if I catch something I don't want, I can let it go unharmed. It does not maim the animal at all. There's so many people out there that have this bad image in their head of trappers being brutal and having teeth on their traps. These are not brutal. I've actually stuck my bare hand in these and set them off, just to feel it. It hurts, it scares you more than anything, but it doesn't close all the way. It does not close all the way, so it doesn't break their bone, and it still allows blood flow to go through their paw. And as long as they can feel their paw, they're not going to chew out. But anyways, on these right here, I use these fence pliers. Fencing pliers are great tools. I mean, you can buy the fancy S-hook tools, but these fencing pliers, you can do all kinds of things with them. If you have an S-hook right here that you want to open up, you can get this sharp point in there and you can bend it to the side and you can open it. But once I get all my traps set up, my Coyote traps, I've never really had a problem. Once or twice where these S-hooks have actually opened up, but I always tack weld them. I have a little MIG machine, and I just throw a little tack weld on them. It's just more extra insurance, and makes them last longer. But you can buy all kinds of different strengths in these pit springs. I do not like the wolf bars that they sell, because I just don't like the design, and I tried them and I had them come apart on me. But I like the pit springs that Minnesota Trapline sells. This is the Pit 19. I believe it's 70 pounds or somewhere in there. It's not the small one, it's the medium one. But also, it keeps your chain, this is a fairly short chain. I don't like to have a real long chain, but when you put these on, you want them halfway in the chain, so that way you can bed the trap and you still have chain to play, and you can bed this, off to the side or whatever, or underneath the trap. I just thought I would show you guys how I set my traps up. You know, these fencing pliers are worth it. The hog rings, you know, that's the way I like to put my trap tags on. Just a little copper hook there, and as long as you keep it on the bottom of the trap, that seems to not get destroyed. If you put it down here on the chain, you know, down in this area, the coyote or whatever you catch is just going to tear it up. But if you leave it right there on the bottom, they really can't get to it. I barely ever have problems with it. But that's what I do when I get these MB650 straight out the box. Cut the chains in half, put the pit springs in there, MB crunch proof swivels, and next step will be is tack welding all the J hooks together, and then it'll be ready to go. I mean, they're kind of oily right now. You got to degrease them, and then I wax them. I have black trap wax that I wax them in. I just thought I would share this and hopefully inspire and educate some trappers. And I hope everybody's out there trapping this year just like every other year. I know fur's down. You want to leave the raccoons alone because they're not selling, but you might get lucky and be able to sell some coyotes or some fox. Alright, y'all, God bless and have a good season.